Joker can join in. A little too late now.
Well, Stormbolt at max range was what he was looking for. Not going to get it. And now there's just going to be this period of time where we're going to sit back and wait for the next objective. Almost the entire map is actually taken right now. So no way to... there's just simply no objective to take. MVP Miracle is going to try to use this rotation down to shove this lane into the keep. To try to counter it. That's their plan here. Sniper does get caught here. Has the Divine Shield himself.
Self-Divine Shield, and Sonya comes at the perfect timing. It's one less protective tool for Miracle.
We're just seeing these cleanses come out over and over again for Nasong. He's got so many of them available. Oh, that's the target they wanted, though.
He's got cleanse, but and leaps out. That's great play coming out from Joker, and Good is looking for that angle again. That Mosh will be the pressure.
Okay, Joker doesn't get the kills he wanted. He did so much counter damage once he survived that. He was in good position to do so. After he lived, he was like, yeah, and now everyone's in range. So that leap actually being a great pick for him here. We didn't see it last series. More greedy play coming out of Tempest. Mighty's going to take the safe route, and it saves them here.
Ooh, does spot the camp. Can they... Okay, decides not to overextend a little bit. Since they are leading, there is no reason to actually risk so much. Also double tempo, so they can further their lead a little more. Yaga has to take care of the camp on the bottom. They may actually join the teamfight at the perfect time when the temple spawns.
Okay. 5 seconds for the temple. That landing stun for Crazy Moving is going to be a big factor in these. If they can actually land on top of Lunara and then start a fight that way, it would be great. But they're getting kited so hard right now. Mighty is struggling, and they even have a Lucio, but still just can't keep up. Having now to use the amp it up for heals, and not speed boost for the chase. Cocktail totally bouncing off this army, not even really doing anything. Dami is trying to do what he can with his human range here. Crazy Moving is super far deep. Top Shrine is not even contested. They want to get both. They want to win this fight, but they're already losing it in terms of health pools here. Lunara untouched in this fight. Divine Shield used for Greymane, but it's not going to be enough. Now he's going to be the first to die. Soundbearer just a second too late.
And here comes another Mosh. It's insta-cancelled, but doesn't even matter. They won the teamfight anyhow, and already Crazy Moving took a lot of the aggro, but Dami versus Sonya, that 1v1 was no way to contest, and Crazy Moving will die here. Sonya did so much more damage than Dami was planning on. He was doing damage all the time, but Sonya was getting healed and shielded so much back that Dami basically did no damage at all in that team fight.
Well, Lunara has really performed tonight, G-Clef. That is the babysitting we saw, basically the camping, the pocket heals, the pocket tanks to make sure that Joker didn't get caught by any of the DPSs. Everybody got burned down. They got kited so hard. And now Mighty will take the first game in the series. Another Lunara game. Didn't think I'd ever live to see the day I'd commentate Joker carrying his team on Lunara, not protecting the Lunara in the back. But we just watched that happen. And now Mighty takes the lead. MVP Miracle looks a bit stressed. This is the first tank loss for Crazy Moving. Took the 3-0 series on tank against Blossom. Momentum was on their side. Now it's taken away from him. He's an emotional player. This could be a struggle for him. It could be an uphill battle.
Yep, I think the solo Greymane did not work so perfectly, especially when there was a Sonya on the other side. And when Sonya was basically the tank, also the Bruiser, doing such a lot of the damage with the spear. And meanwhile, when Mighty has another tool of Lunara doing ranged attacks, poison damage, seems like he's doing a lot of damage. And on the other side, there's no ranged whatsoever. They're relying on Greymane. If Greymane's not taking kills, they are not getting kills.
Yeah. Greymane's just getting outpoked by Lunara, even with human range at level 7. Still just kind of struggling to get that massive damage done. Always protected was Lunara by the front line, by the heals coming out. Felt like she had pocket protectors, babysitters, I mean, guardians. Pretty much she was safe.
Yeah. And whenever she was somewhat CC'd, the Cleansing Touch came in from Karazim, also leaped out. That was pretty good reaction time coming out from Joker. So far, so good on the DPS. I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah. I think it's early to tell at this point, but like that was a good game, and I think his teammates really allowed him to do that. So map pick will likely go to Mighty now, and we don't know where they're taking us yet. Say avoiding Cursed Hollow is probably the play. Maybe heading towards another smaller map like Sky Temple, or sorry, not Sky Temple. God. I'm like Tomb of the Sky Temple, Tomb of the Spider Queen might be a good pick. Infernal Shrines as well with BDG on the Sonya right now is another good option for them. We flew through that first game, the first draft, and everything, and now I'm just like, I'm trying to segue into the map screen. I'm trying to summon it. Okay, there we go. That was my summoning rant. And we are going to Tomb of the Spider Queen, in fact.
This is the real Tomb. That game 1, even though Miracle had the Haka on their side, the Global was not really soaking up EXP too much because the rotations, the map pressure in all lanes was way too pressured because Sonya won lane. I think it really started to snowball from the laning phase. And the top was basically destroyed. Trading Fort was a good idea for Miracle for the second temple phase, but Sonya went all the way deep alone to the keep. Of course, that one team fight went for Miracle later on, but those pressures against the Haka, and Judy was often joining team fight a little late, missing the drag oftentimes. And that's all because the lane was all pressured. He had to take care. It took a long time, and that's all. Those kind of snowball all starts from the laning phase. We're really highlighting this because it's the meta. It's what the Korean players are focusing on when they draft so much right now.
Yeah. There's 3 things that you always want to focus on in the draft. It's and they're in this order right now in the meta. It's the 4-man rotation, the 4-man, like the wave clear, and how long you can sustain, how much you can do in the early game in lane. Number 2 is the solo laner, and then number 3 is can we team fight. That's like the order that Korean drafts go in. So that's why sometimes you see these heroes picked, and you're like, well, I don't know where they're going with this one, but when you see the bigger picture, you could say, oh, okay, they just wanted to win the solo lane. Or
depending on the meta, sometimes it's global first, and then wave clear, and then something else. And
yeah.
Depending on the meta, right now it seems like wave clear and solo laning is very, very important.
Yes. Okay, ETC ban. Man, ETC, as soon as he gets meta again, he's just like almost perma-banned. Oh.
Not in my Hero League game, so I'm happy as an ETC player.
That's right.
Mighty. Ariel's open. Other supports available. Even Genji's mobility is pretty high on this map. But whenever Mighty played Genji, I believe they lost the previous 2 Genji games. Of course, Ariel on top of the list, right behind. Even Johanna could be considered as second ban, maybe first ban. Let's see if they want to go for the tank choke.
I think that's a bit. It's going a bit far,
yes.
Yeah, but I think they want to ban the Ariel here. To be honest, I think you still have to do that. Could take the Tastar rotation instead. Ooh, baiting the Ariel out. What do they want to do with this? Okay, well, that wasn't like they didn't even have to show
that wasn't a hard
for that one.
Yeah, that wasn't so hard.
Okay, they had a backup plan. See, they focus. They see that Miracle's focus is going to be winning the rotational play, winning the wave clear one because they already have Ariel, so they can't lose it. And so Mighty doesn't even try to counteract that right now. They're just going immediately into the solo lane.
This is okay, but if Miracle counteracts with Dami's Greymane and Crazy Moving Stereo, I think is the perfect 2 picks before the ban phase happen. I think Tyrael is now a must pick, actually.
A must pick.
Yes, a must.
I think that
120%.
He's very strong against this. But I don't think that Mighty can... Sorry, that Miracle can necessarily think that way yet. Because then it forces them to go into the Greymane, which they didn't want to take. They'd rather take a Vala here. And or Lunara. So I think they might hold on to it. I think it would be very strong. They do take it though with the Vala. I suppose you didn't really. I guess I was really leaning towards if they were going to take it, they take it with Greymane, but that's not necessarily true as we've seen here. It's a rare draft for Miracle if you cover the Mighty side of the screen, but when you consider that Tormented Souls is there, then yeah, it's a good choice. And I like your call on this one, G-Clef.
I think that also made some differences in Series 1 tonight. Taking Vala, of course, pairs super well with Auriel, but Mighty can also bring out Lunara once more, which is a good counter against Vala. Do you want to use your ban card here? That's my question. Ooh, of course.
Looks like they're focusing on the Greymane instead for now. Hovering that. Not entirely sure if they will lock it. I think it's a strong ban. That and Lunara both. I think they are going to lock it. They're just thinking about the next steps here. So, it's going to get locked in. They're not going to break the ban there and drop it. Like, it's only happened once in Korea history. But, as you were saying, does it draw the ban card? Maybe it should have, because Mighty locks it in immediately.
Yes, it has been the pick for the last... since the last weekend, since on this patch. And also Rehgar, pretty effective along with Martheo when he dives in. Ooh. I'm scared of these four already coming out from Mighty. And of course, okay, ETC is banned already, so... if these four for Mighty plus ETC will destroy any kind of team comp on the other side.
This is a really, really kind of... it feels like this game is a 1v1 between Vala and Lunara. Like, whoever wins that matchup wins the fight, very likely. So, excited to see how that one's going to play out, because they're both hyper carries. They're both going to be the solo DPSs. Malthael is kind of neglectable because of the Tyrael Sanctification. Leoric will be the solo laner here. Karazim will be the secondary support.
All in Vala.
Very all in. Now, though, do we see the Anubarak pick that we saw that countered the Sanctification earlier so that Malthael can get powered up? Doesn't feel like something that Mighty would do. It felt like something that Tempest would do, which is why they did.
Feeling Johanna here. Good against, bringing some blinds against Vala. Also against Karazim, which is a great pick. Nice one, and they needed some wave clear. They do have Tastar and Lunara, but of course another source of wave clear could have been just a perfect tool for them, man.
Yeah, the wave clear is really good here. Anubarak might have been better for Malthael, but it's not necessarily what they need to win these fights. They already have a large amount of AoE damage. They have a large amount of burn damage from Lunara. If they can bait the Sank somehow with a Blessed Shield or something like that, maybe that's how they end up getting that out to use that extra damage coming out from the Tormented Souls. Only time will tell. Remember, Mighty is up one game in this series. Win here would put them on match point. We'll see if they can do it as we head into Tomb of the Spider Queen. In blue, MVP Miracle, Judy on Leoric, Dami on Vala, Jaehyun on Auriel, Crazy Moving on Tyrael, and Sniper on Karazim.
That's crazy. Dami on Vala. And in red, Mighty. Joker on Lunara, BDG on Martheo, Good on Johanna, Nasang on Rehgar, and Maki on Tassadar.
So, remember Crazy Moving's most impressive hero of the three he played against Blossom, most would argue, were his Tyrael Sanks. Like, his Tyrael play was really good, his Holy Ground is really good. So that's something I'm looking forward to again in this second game here. Wouldn't say his Murden was not impressive because his Stormbolt accuracy was really good, etc. But the Sank usage, not getting baited, and also having it there for the Tormented Souls is going to be so critical in these fights. So watch the health bars of the DPSs, fans at home, because when we go into these extended fights, especially once we get post 10, 13 to 16, the DPS dies, the fight will very likely, in almost every case, end. Mighty has the backup, of course, of Malthael, but even still, like, it's not going to be enough. He'll be out-healed.
This chase will get the kill for sure. And maybe even 2. Dami does not.
That's a double.
Oh.
Crazy Moving just missed the shield by about a millisecond. BDG is going to live up here in top as well, as he's Malthael. So, this is a great start for Mighty. But yeah, as I was saying, if you are able to kill Vala, especially, what DPS Karzim adds is very negligible. What DPS is added from Leoric is even more negligible. But what Malthael adds is very valuable. He has less burst, or Mighty has less burst than what Vala can do like on a single target. It takes longer to kill those targets with the burn damage. But in the longer fight, which is what Mighty is looking for, if they kill the Vala, they will win almost every fight, like, no matter what, because they will crush it. That's why those sanctifications have to be really good. That's why those the positioning for Crazy Moving has to be really good.
Yep, and before 10, even more, because there's no protective tool for themselves right now. Some healing, but basically that's it. And Dami's Vala, I have not seen Dami's Vala too many times. A little scared, actually. Let's see how well he plays against Joker's extra ranged assassin there.
Yeah, I mean, Dami played one ranged assassin for the majority of his career, and that was Greymane. Then he was the flex tank, then he was the main tank, he was the flex tank. Now he's the main DPS again. He showed us Greymane already in game number 1, but now this is kind of a totally different role for him on the Vala. So definitely not in his comfort zone right now. This is not a comfort pick for him. Although it was the hero that Miracle tried to run with Ariel, this is their playstyle. They were the first team in Korea to run the hyper carry meta with the Vala, so they are familiar.
Judy just used the walk, so he will be going down.
So they are very familiar with this type of playstyle, but it's not with Dami. So that adds an extra layer of potential confusion, potential misfighting, because they don't know exactly how Dami plays on the hero as well as Crazy Moving in the past.
Got the focus damage onto Sniper. And Joker, this entire game, I don't think. Ooh, that's a solo kill.
Well,
a solo kill technically.
A death in the solo lane.
Yes. I don't think Joker took even 1 damage in this game, because basically he was just chasing along with his teammates, just shooting that poison spear. And
well, it's cool to see this kind of lane swap, I guess you could say, for MVP Miracle. They have Vala Ariel together in lane, because Tassor's got good wave clear. He has shielding, so he can shield himself or shield the structures, but you're just like infinitely out-sustained by those two together. They'll just keep each other alive and keep each other healed forever and ever. So lanes are being won by Miracle despite the picks on the side of Mighty, especially with that pick in the top lane. See if Joker gets out of here. He is definitely taking some damage now.
it survived though. So there's not much of CC on the other side. Before that Entomb comes in, I think that Entomb has to land every single time onto Lunara if they want to win the team fight, or sustaining long team fights even. Now to think of it, they really need some CCs to actually lock in Joker. I think it's going to be very hard, even with the Entomb.
Yeah, definitely.
If he takes leap, he can just escape easy.
Yeah, depending on the angle, but very likely should be able to get out. So, what else could they really do? I mean, Judgment is not reasonable, especially because the whole Tyrael pick is designed for dealing with the Tormented Souls. Maybe it's just going to be they have to use Rain of Vengeance to be hyper aggressive to get those lockdowns. This is going to be the first Web Weavers going to Mighty here. This long, and very slow-paced early game we're watching right now. So that's going to lead them towards a faster 10. They might even get the pick on the Dami here. Nope. Can they turn this around? Will not be the case. I feel like so far Dami has not really made any mistakes on the Vala overall. Like, I can't really criticize it just yet, so I almost like the narrative we wrote hasn't come true yet.
But at the same time, if you have Ariel behind you, and also carries him sometimes, you need to take risks. You need to be aggressive, putting out maximum damage. If you're not doing that, your team will be lacking damage. I want to see how confident Dami feels after 10. Still a long way from level 10.
Definitely a ways away now. Big invades here from Mighty. They're being hyper aggressive with this Johanna pick. I mean, once we see 10, I'm really scared to see what will actually get done with Good on the Johanna, because it's been so aggressive, getting so many multi-man condemns. He took block at level 1, so can take a few extra shots. Now they have 10. Now they have that Blessed Shield. And this is very much a scary moment for Miracle during this level. And what Mighty wants to do with the advantage they have, which is what they've always wanted to do, which is what anyone wanted to do in this case, is to get the double turn in to get all 3 forts. They've already taken down the mid one. If they get the double turn in, very likely they will get the top and bot. They're in fact hurting already, damaging that top fort. Rotate around, turning in one by one. Miracle needs to deny. It's so difficult without 10 though.
They can't. Even Judy has to be careful. He is holding 20 at the moment. Of course, the pressure is real onto the other side. Miracle. They also need to stop at the same time, not just try to turn their own in.
Crazy Moving is being very aggressive here. Did stop 2 turn-ins from Good. This is kind of this game of chicken, it feels like right now.
Of course, Rain and Tomb. 7-sided locked for Miracle.
I like the Rain.
But they need more CCs. Stop anything from happening. Even trapping Lunara could be a blow-up. Or even stopping Martial, I think. It's somewhat needed right now for MVP Miracle. They are having some trouble trying to turn their gems in.
Crazy Moving went really far forward. There's the leap. Blessed Shield. That's a death. And we were worried about this from the beginning when we saw Blessed Shield coming out. What is Sniper trying to accomplish over here? Ancestral will get used, so they're trying to bait here. Dami, heals are coming in. You up one more, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. That's going to be it. Tormented Soul's coming over because Crazy Moving is already dead. There's no Sank here for this. Oh man, this is a disaster. That's a triple kill here. Started with a pick. They're proxying between the fort and the keep. Still getting kills. Sure, it costs them a Webweaver turn in, but this Webweaver is going to be so weak as a result.
Judy successfully turned in at the bottom. Meanwhile, that was happening, but they lost their lives. They lost 3 kills, and they're down even more EXP. This set of Webweavers will barely do some damage onto the fort. Of course, you can't really say Judy made the wrong choice to turn in when when their members were down, because that was the only thing he could have done, and he was holding 20. If he loses and if he dies and drops all that, it could be worse. But here's the Entomb onto Johanna though, alone. Can they get the kill?
Blessed Shield usage here hits almost everybody, but it's not going to be enough to save him. And with only
7-sided really came in with the percent damage.
With only tank being gone, Joker can't really bleed through this damage. We'll just have to collect some gems. This could be the double Webweaver now for Miracle. All the gems they have carried. This is a very critical moment for them to take this. Look at that. Sniper's holding 53.
Good thing he survived at the top.
Yeah, it's actually really important that you mentioned that. Not enough though, just 2 away.
2 away. Of course,
Mighty
also has enough, but they're just taking the pressure off and also taking the camp.
All right, Miracle's trying to get the way back into this now. On the way to 13. Jaehyun is the target here. Does have Aegis. God, Joker is such an aggressive Lunara. He is getting away with it, man. His teammates are blocking for him so hard. Good is like, do it, you won't. I've got Condemn. You want to come in and try to punish me? Not going to happen.
Nasang diving in. Super deep. Also, almost looked like the Hunt coming out.
These things do happen.
Trying to punish. There's an Entomb. BDG's the only
Where's
target.
the Sank? He doesn't have it. It's interrupted.
comes in. Here's a chase now onto the other side.
Oh, so much damage. Moggy's gonna pop the Archon. Doesn't have Force Wall to stop these members though. Everyone will get out. What a great, efficient trade for Miracle, though. The heroics they traded are much shorter cooldowns, and they only use 2 versus the 4 of Mighty. Well, realistically 5. Lunara's leap charges. So Mighty, at least they got out of that one alive. It was a dangerous situation, but efficiency of heroic usage better for Miracle. They're still holding on to 60 gems, Mighty is, because they've been so struggling to even get gems in lane, and they're, you know, unable to get those turn-ins in because Miracle has such big control over the game right now. They're going to take this fort very shortly. No ammo left on that.
Ooh, let's see. Maybe they want to come in defend. Fastar has shields available. Nope, not really moving, diving in. There's an Entomb. Does that Sank available? Timing it with BDG on the other side.
Okay, a lot of damage being done here. They need to get out of here. Miracle does. Can't really turn this one. Look at this. 5-man condemn. Everybody's going to die at the end of this team fight. Sanctification is used. Will help them catch BDG. Yeah, Ball is dead, so no more damage. Look at how long BDG is able to sustain with no damage against him. He's just going to get out no matter what. He's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys don't have damage.
Ancestral Tormented coming back in 3, 4. Does not even need it. Wow.
Okay, so now Mighty can get this turn in. Want to maybe delay Crazy moving. Nope. Let's go ahead and turn in. We'll see a few hearths home for the mana and health that's sorely missing for Nasong right now and BDG. Even Judy was considering a hearth, it looks like. Ooh, too risky. We'll back off. Well, Weavers will come up here to deal with the waves that are pushed, and then Mighty will be able to push further. They haven't experienced it because they've been more successful in structure damage. Both teams have good poke, but remember, killing the DPS first. We talked about in the draft how that was going to decide these fights, and that's what decided the last one.
Losing Dami, of course, was a big factor, but not really catching BDG, I think, because they lack CC. I think that's the biggest problem right now. Even with 7-sided, if it goes on to multiple members, if they can not lock the main target they try to focus on, then the damage just spreads and it does not go on to... The focusing is very off because of that. Also, BDG's mind game between Crazy Moving, the Sank, versus the Tormented Soul was super big, and BDG got the healing. He sustained himself when Crazy Moving. He did not get healed because Dami was taking all the damage.
Let's now keep under fire. G-Clef. Leoric is bot. Isn't actually using... Okay, now he comes in Hearthstone. I was going to say he's not using his Wraithwalk or anything. He's just down there. Now he's back. He's going to look for an Entomb engage here. Good position here for Judy so far. Will he use it on Joker? He knows Leap's available. It's not worth it. The poke here is so good for Mighty. They're going to get this keep. Psystorm's coming down. The double. That will be the first keep of the game. Going to Mighty at 1350. And they have enough for another turn in. They're rotating back for it. Going to try to steal this camp first.
Let's see how greedy they get.
Yeah.
Camp, fort, and the bottom camp, or let's see how much they try to take here.
Looks like it's just going to be camp it to turn in. Well, also maybe taking the keep with Malthael. Showing bot right now. Miracle's playing it safe. They don't have 16. They do just now. They have enough for a turn in. Your move, Miracle. This is Mighty's game to lose. Joker does have, you know, the pressure on right here. We'll back away. Entomb goes down onto Johanna, keeps being the target. Ancestral's used. They do not want to lose her this time. 7-sided as well, but Nasong does absorb some of the damage. Malthael's coming up.
From
Sanctification.
The other side. Sanctification is available, though.
Oh, the sun! He has to use it here. It's baited by the Blessed Shield. And wait for this. He's just going to turn it on. Once the Sank is gone, this fight is gone. He's going to make them disappear.
Joker leaps out of the fight and still does damage because he's ranged.
That's game.
This is game. Going to Mighty end.
Such a sick understanding of how to bait the Sanctification there by Mighty. Blessed Shield comes in. They know they have to, with this turn fight, use the Sanctification. And
timing was just
that was
insane.
so beautiful.
BDG just mental fight against Crazy moving hard in this game.
This was not the same level of Tyrael we saw from Crazy Moving against Blossom. last week. This is definitely a different series we're watching right now. Mighty is going to dominate these first 2 games. They are going to match point. Respawns are coming in here. Judy's the first to do so. Sniper is going to be the second.
Ooh, they're actually backing out.
They always have to play off this game. I guess we're not doing that. I guess they do survive. The game is still virtually over, but I thought they would be able to burst down the core.
Another kill. I think it's going to take a longer time now. They do have the pressure into mid, but still both forts are alive. Not both keeps are alive for Miracle.
They just want to get their level 10 loot boxes for these heroes a little bit faster. That's why they're getting more experience. They're trying to get the EXP from the map, get the all the keep EXP. They want all 3 keeps. They're gonna get this boss. It's Mighty not getting this boss, by the way. It's Miracle because Mighty overextended and lost everybody.
It's still pretty hard, Leoric guys. And it's still pretty hard for Miracle to come back, even if they take the boss, because they do not have the gems, because they went down right before.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that Mighty is not trying to head towards that boss. I guess it's because Miracle's trying to fake them out a little bit. That's how they got the pick on the Leoric. They do get the boss, as you say. It's not going to be enough to damage the keep, as the full fort is up and they have no gems. 6 carried currently. But I suppose they live to see another day. Twilight Archon will be up right when Tassadar is. He's respawned now. They're going to clear this boss and look to potentially, I guess, go for those turn-ins. They have enough themselves. 57 of 60 with 6 held. Twilight Archon's going to make this a lot tougher. The Indestructible as well means coring next time. I think they could more confidently do so.
Especially with another turn-in, I think they can go. They can just select the lane they want to push and destroy all keeps, or just go for the core. One mistake for a Miracle will be GG for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a sticky situation for Miracle. They can't hope for Mighty to just turn tail and walk out this time. They don't have 20. They don't have hard engage. And they don't have good management of Sanctification from what they've shown us all game long.
And entombing Johanna all the time will not solve the problem here.
Yeah.
As we saw the answer in just one Ancestral with Johanna's trait was just absolutely perfect management. Just pushing in with the Web Weaver 63 plus the shields.
Twilight Archon is going to last forever in this fight.
Although almost goes, the Ancestral does connect.
Stacks with Indestructible, unfortunately. Sniper getting very, very deep. Does actually use 7-sided here. Sanctification is really good. And yet again, Mighty chokes here. They're looking for the pick on the Crazy Moving. They can't quite get it though. Huge condemn. Well, there's no follow-up damage here. There's not enough. And they're getting out sustained now that Johanna is down and Ancestral was wasted. This is going to be another one fight for Miracle. They keep the dream alive in this game. They're going to lose a keep, I suppose, and that's still huge, and they're still massively behind, make no mistake. But Mighty is choking in these big moments.
That was a 20 versus level 19 fight.
That's right. Well, even 18 at the beginning of it, I think it was. And okay, well, if you're a Mighty fan and if you're a Mighty player right now, you're probably thinking, guys, can we get our heads back in the game here? I think they were a little bit
Not just
overconfident.
A little bit. They were very disjointed, and even Rhaegar was diving in for the kill when he did not get the kill. He almost died himself from making that play. And Nasang was very aggressive. We saw some mispositioning coming out from Joker. He was contesting against Bala 1v1. And Bala, of course, now with extra range, I think has what it takes to contest against. Actually, a lot more bursting damage can come out from Bala now.
Indestructible is so important, and it was wasted there with the Ancestral. Now he's not going to have it for a long time. It's probably got like 60 to 70 seconds left on its cooldown before it can come back up. And this is an opportunity for them to actually entomb Johanna again, at this time get the kill early, now that that's not available.
Another keep down. Can Miracle, look at the damage coming out from Joker. That's insane amount of poison. But can be healed coming out from Jaehyun all the time.
Lunara scales so well in the late game, like even better than Bala, as you can see here. And this is the DPS wars. They're trying to kill Vala. If they kill Dami, then they win the fight.
Dami does not do any damage, has to be out of the fight.
Yeah, he's just getting outranged here.
Massive damage.
He's getting out poked. They don't get any kills, but the fight is definitely won for Mighty here.
And meanwhile, Judy's just chilling on the side.
He's trying to get a flank entomb. That's
Ghost
the idea.
Team does not have enough for the gem. They're looking for the team fight. Good dives.
Here comes Judy. The shield goes up. Aegis is popped here. On top of the Sanctification, the Ancestral connects. BDG, has he done enough damage? Remember, Joker just has to survive here. Go for the longer fight. I think Indestructible's not up yet. It's going to be very soon if it is.
Sniper barely dashes out. Here comes the shield coming out from Aria.
Okay,
Vala's
there's the Kona Vala.
Oh no, Joker is also out of the fight.
Does he have Indestructible? I'm not even sure. A Sniper clearly doesn't think so. We'll never know because he doesn't pop it. And that is going to be the one fight here for Mighty. 4-man down. And this time, they end the game, you have to imagine, with nobody but a Leoric to stop the onslaught.
Diving all the way in, of course, also pops the shield, and Lunara taps onto the fountain, and she's back now, doing so much damage.
That's going to be game
over.
over.
That damage was insane.
Mighty on their third time's a charm, I suppose, for that push. They will get the win here. Late game Lunara is pretty good. And now we're headed into a situation where after Miracle's sudden revamped Crazy Moving tank, the new momentum they had, Crazy Moving's trash talking in the interview, they find themselves down 0-2 in a series where everyone, all the fans were expecting and the analysts were expecting Miracle was going to take the series. They were the favorites after Crazy Moving's incredible tank performance against Blossom, but they have not delivered.
Yep, at all. And Dami did, at the late team fights, 3 last team fights, he basically did no damage. He was poked, kited out of the fight from all the Lunara auto attacks, blinded all the time. That was just insane moment coming out from Joker, and I think he's very talented about how well he's positioned, keeping his range against Vala all the time. That was just massive 1v2, 1v3. He was keeping Vala away, which means he was also taking all the heals coming out from both supports. Basically, he was doing 1v3 this entire time, so from the side, Judy could not do a thing.
Well, we're going to find out if during this break, MVP Miracle can get it together because they're down 0-2. Will they be eliminated here in our third game? We'll find out when we come back. Welcome back, guys. We could have our final game.